of the biggest passions that I have in life is to be a mother one day. I have been raised and blessed with a mom who has taught me how to love others when I want to hate, to forgive and to forget those who have done me wrong, and to work hard and humbly at everything that I do. The lessons I have learned from her are countless, and have shaped me into the person that I am today. I want to be able to take what I learned from my mother and pass it on to my kids one day. I want to love and support them, correct them when they're wrong, and be there for them like a best friend. Not only do I have a heart to be a mother, but I also have a heart for adoption. There is just something about taking a broken situation and making it whole again. There are so many children in this world who do not have loving, supportive people pouring into their lives, and one day I hope that I can be that person for them. So many kids have been put up for adoption because their family situation was not proper for the child, or the child lost their parents, or even sadly because their parents just don't want them or weren't ready for them. All I want for these children is for them to be shown their true worth and just how loved and cared for they really, really are. I think that adoption is such a beautiful thing. In our world now, adoption has become such a big thing, which brings up the debate on either having an open adoption or a closed adoption. Open adoption is a form of adoption in which the biological and adoptive families have access to varying degrees of each other's personal information and have an option of contact. This basically means the parents of the child, so the birth parents of the child, can still be involved in the child's life. Closed adoption is a process by which an infant is adopted by another family, and the record of the biological parent is kept sealed. This basically means that there can be no contact between the birth mom and the adoptive parents, and that they'll never meet, they'll never cross paths, and they'll never even know who each other are. Of course, there are many pros and cons to both open and closed adoption, depending on what you think and your views and just your what you want. But I would have to say that open adoption is the way to go, and here's why. When you do an open adoption, there are a lot higher chances of you being able to adopt. Most birth mothers have such a hard time giving up their child to someone else and not knowing what's going on in that situation, and they still kind of want to be involved. They still want to be involved in their child's life, whether it's seeing them once a year for a birthday or getting together for food every few months or every few weeks. They agreed to let a family take their child on the condition that they still can be involved in their life. As a mother, it is probably so hard to be just giving your child to someone without knowing when the next time you'll see them is or if you'll ever see them again. So open adoption for birth moms is something that has been dramatically increased within the past 10 years or so, because the birth mom wants to know and just be with her family. Another reason that open adoption is the way to go is that it shows the child at a young age that they have a birth mom and a new family. So this creates no conflict when the child gets older. It won't confuse the child on what's going on, and the child will know from a young age that, okay, this was my birth mom, and now these are my parents that are raising me because my mom couldn't, or whatever the reasons are. Statistics say that 99% of children ages 5 and older already know they're adopted, and that has to do with the increasing amount of open adoptions in our country. When the birth mom is involved in the child's life, they know at a young age that they have a birth mom and the parents, and that becomes a normal thing to them. The birth mom can also sit there and answer questions and tell them, because I think one of the biggest things about adoption is like the child feels like the parents didn't want them, and having a mom or a dad or both the parents involved in the child's life at a young age will really help them deal with that and be able to tell the child, like, this is not why you are not wanted, we couldn't provide for you, or whatever it was. Another thing about open adoption is that it creates a big, loving family. If adoption is an open adoption, the birth mom is going to want to be involved in her child's life. Not only does the child have a loving parent who also wanted to adopt them, they have a birth mom who wanted to stay in their life. Having a birth mom there is going to help being able to explain to the child how loved they are, why the birth mom could not take care of the child at the time, and that is just a great benefit in itself. The child won't have to worry about feeling unworthy or unloved and thinking that the birth mom didn't want them. Open adoption provides the child with a lot more answers, love, and support. My best friend Emily can attest to all of these things about open adoption. She was adopted and has an open adoption. Her birth mom refused to go through with adoption unless it was going to be an open adoption because she wanted to be a part of Emily's life. To this day, she will still get together with her birth mom from time to time. Although it has not always been easy or perfect for them, she loves that her birth mom was able to be there for her and answer questions that she had. She has 2 loving, supportive, adopted parents and a strong, amazing birth mom who wants to pour into her life. Her birth mom is now married and is starting a family of her own and wants more than anything for Emily to be involved in that. Open adoption is truly great for showing the child the dynamic of their family at an early age, giving them overwhelming love and support, and helping the chances of an adoption to take place. There are some benefits, of course, to closed adoption. I think it gives the birth mom more closure immediately. The birth mom can rest in knowing that her child is with people who are going to be able to provide for her better, and it kind of just takes the stress and pressure off of her. The parents also don't need to worry about the birth mom ever wanting the child back or being a negative influence in the child's life because they won't even know who each other are. I think, though, although it may be nice, the birth mom could still get closure and maybe even more closure actually being able to experience the family and know this family is going to be supportive and loving and caring to their child if she's meeting them and experiencing them on firsthand. I think what better way to check something out than to actually experience it yourself. Another thing that closed adoption could do is give the parents free reign with what they choose to do with their child. They don't necessarily have to consult the mom on names or the sport they decide for their children to play or the school they choose. It's kind of just the parents are now the adopted parents are now going to be the parents of this child, and that's the end of the story. Although the parents may feel more comfortable with this, they do not have to technically consult the birth mom about everything in open adoption that they decide with the child, because the child is technically theirs and everything that they decide is the end of the story with that. The child is theirs and the birth mom is just there to provide love and support while seeing her child grow up. So although there are some benefits to closed adoption, I believe there are far more benefits in open adoption, just with the whole loving and encouraging open family, the higher chance of actually being able to adopt, and just learning that this is the dynamic of the family and we adopted you because we loved you kind of thing, and your mom still wants to be a part of your life because she also loves you, which is why she gave you up for adoption, so that someone else could love and support and provide for you. So if you're ever thinking about adoption, make sure you choose open adoption. Thank you.